Good morning, everybody. I am about to open my journal number 11. I started 2 years ago when I began my personal development journey, keeping a journal every night. I was always the kind of person who wanted to keep a journal, and I actually tried. I've got several journals that I have purchased in the last 30 years where I'd buy a journal, I'd write in it for 3 or 4 nights, and then I'd skip it. And then 2 months later or 3 months later, I'd come back and write a few more pages. And I've got like 4 journals up in my music studio that have maybe a quarter of the pages filled out. And I've kept those for a record and to remind myself to do it. But it wasn't until 2 years ago that I started actually making it a discipline and keeping the journal. And I finished journal number 10 last night. That's number 10 of a 250 page journal. That means that I've written 2,500 pages. That's pages of a journal. And it's been immensely helpful. I keep my notes. I keep my ideas. I take it to every meeting with me. I take it on every vacation with me. And it's great going through and looking for the ideas that I had that were stupid, looking for the ideas that I had that were brilliant. And so I want to recommend that if you want to keep a journal, like if you're like me and you've started journals and then given up on them and then started them again and given up on them, that you do this, that you make it a discipline, make it a habit, because it is immensely helpful. And not everybody needs to do this, right? Some of you out there, you don't really care. You've never had an urge to keep a journal. You've never had a desire, and you can write down your reflections and your ideas and everything, maybe in a planner, and just, you can jot them down. I would recommend having one book to keep your thoughts and ideas in, even if you're not the kind of person that keeps a journal, because even if it takes you 10 years to fill it out, at least you've got one solid place instead of keeping your notes on scraps of paper and all of that. I do keep 2 pages of my journal open at the end, and I have my kids write on each page something. Ethan's 3, he's scribbling, but when Mia started, she was scribbling, and now she is writing me notes and drawing beautiful pictures in my journal. So I keep 2 pages for them. It's a way to watch them grow up. But beyond that, I can look back at my reflections. I can look back and say, where did I go wrong? Or let's say this, if I'm writing the same problem every single day, or maybe once a week, or if I look back 2 years and say, oh, I still had that same problem, that's something that I should take care of, because it's obviously getting in my way and I've ignored that problem for 2 years. So maybe it's time to get something to it. You just learn a whole lot about your own life. And this journal helped me be a student of my own life. I would highly recommend it. And even if you don't use a journal, it's still important to reflect every day. Still important to look at your life, see where things aren't going like you want them to, and then work on being a scientist of your own life and experiment until your problem is gone, until that thing that is getting in your way is now out of the way. It's a solved problem. Anyway, thank you for listening. I will talk to you all soon. Thank you for being part of the Ideas and Concepts Mastermind group. I will talk to you soon.